Peace. What's the word, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Monday thus far. It's real hot where I'm at, man. The St. Louis area, we getting hit with some 100-degree weather, man. Heat advisory over here, man. But give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid, man. We got about possibly 45 minutes to an hour to build on this subject matter. Y'all see the title. You know, we dealing with desperation. That will get you either pimped or passed up. You know, so we're gonna talk about these brothers that's out here displaying that desperate energy in regards to seeking out relationships with women. Tell y'all why that's no good. You cannot be out here appearing to be desperate, man. We can't be displaying that type of energy, man. That's the wrong energy to be out here displaying. But what's the word, man? How we living? How we feeling? Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. How y'all being treated on this Monday, man? What's the word? Like I said, it's hot on my end, but we good. Larry, peace, what's happening? Patrick, peace, what's the word? How we living? How we feeling? Yeah, we gotta kill the desperation, man. And I wouldn't talk about it if I wasn't seeing it. You know, so a lot of things that I talk about are inspired by what I see, what I bear witness to. You know, Devin, Sharif, and peace. What's happening? What's the word? So if I'm not bearing witness to it, I'm not talking about it. You know, so I have been bearing witness to brothers that's displaying this desperate energy, and that's bad. That's bad. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing for sure. A righteous woman. She doesn't necessarily care for that desperate energy, man. She doesn't care for that. Shantae, peace, Queen, what's happening? JB, peace, what's the word? Now you have some sisters. They may like your desperation simply so they can pimp you. Again, pimped or passed up. You know, so when you come across a woman that acts as if she likes that desperate energy, she likes the fact that you so desperate. She only entertaining you so she can milk you, you know, for everything. Because she preying on that desperation. She preying on that energy. So again, if you come across a woman that acts like she likes that, that's the reason why. She's preying on that energy. She's trying to milk you for everything that you have, man. So again, desperation, that's gonna get you pimped or passed up. Either or. Either or. But peace, what's the happening? What's happening, everybody? Peace, peace, the real peace. What's the word? Dominique, peace, what's happening? The good kid, peace. Mo Ease, peace, what's happening? Oh, Sharifin for sure. Yeah, for sure. It definitely causes blindness, man. Most definitely. It most definitely causes blindness, man. And what's sad is, like I said, I know a lot of brothers. I know a lot of brothers that, like I said, display this type of energy, man, and it's sick. It's sick, man. I know, man. Listen, I know a few brothers that display this type of energy, man, and again wonder why they are not in situations. They wonder why they are not in situations because again, man, you too desperate, man. Don't nobody want that, you know. Don't nobody want that. Even when it comes to men, like we don't want overly desperate women. Like, come on, that's not attractive, man. That's not attractive at all. Yeah, Darrell, for sure. Definitely got to take your time, and that's like I said. That's with everything. That's with everything, man. You should take your time vetting out every situation that you're about to place yourself in, man. That's the key to everything out here. That's the key to everything. Take your time, man. What we say, slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race, man. But again, we always trying to speed up the process. We overly desperate. We comparing ourselves to people around us. So we see somebody around us, they are in a certain type of situation, and we trying to rush our process. Like, nah, man, we gotta chill out with that. Yeah, we gotta chill. Yeah, we gotta chill on all that, man. We have definitely gotta chill on all that. But yeah, let me handle some more business on my end here. But yeah, all right, we back in that mug. Mr. Keeler, peace, what's happening? You say I don't like simps whatsoever. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know, and again, I don't feel like anybody likes that energy. Like, as a man, I don't feel like we should be out here condoning that type of activity from women. Like, again, if anything, I'm like a desperate person concerns me. Like a desperate person, they concern me. Like I'm like suspicious of that type of energy. Like, why are you so desperate to be in the situation like that? I don't trust you. I don't trust you at all, Chris. What's happening? What's the word? Oh, Shantae, yeah, that's sick. Anything you say, what you got, what they call them, a yes man. A yes man or a yes woman. They do everything you say. Don't have anything, any type of foundation that they stand on individually by themselves. Like, that's sick, man. You got to have your own mind in the situation. Come on. Mr. Keeler, for sure. I'm telling you, I know a few. You know, I know a few personally, man. I know a few, man. I'm talking about brothers are too desperate, man. And don't let them be in a situation financially to where they can obviously throw money towards the women. Like, that's when I say you're gonna end up getting pimped. And unfortunately, it's a lot of brothers that's fragile like that. It's a lot of brothers that's fragile like that, man. Instead of them striving to just focus on themselves, which again, a righteous woman, a woman that, listen, the right type of woman, that's what she likes to see. She likes to see that you're not out here overly focused on trying to chase women and chase relationships and things like that, and you handling your business. She likes to see that. When you doing that is the type of woman that you will attract to yourself. You know what I'm saying? The type of woman that you need, you will attract them. You will attract them when you focusing on yourself. When you working on yourself. You know, you're gonna attract the trash when you out here being desperate, and then wonder why. Which is, again, I've seen a lot of dudes, they end up placing women in the box when they go about it that way. Like, nah, that's on you. That's on you. You placing women in this box, but it's all because of you. You out here chasing women. You out here desperate. So when you desperate, man, you almost settle for anything at that particular point. You settling for anything. You know, and then like my brother Sharifman said, you blind at that particular point, man. So you overlooking a lot of red flags. You overlooking a lot of clues that if you were not desperate, you would be able to analyze and examine those clues, and those clues will let you know that, nah, this is not the type of situation that I need to be in. You know, so at the end of the day, man, being desperate, no. Like, that's just, we can't be out here moving in desperation, man. We can't be out here moving according to some clock that outside world and placed on us, feeling like we got to be in this type of situation and that type of situation by this age, you know, like, or if we don't have this, then it means that. Like, nah, man, you got to move on your own time, man. You can't be out here trying to rush the process and rush into love and things like that. That is how you end up in a bad situation. Point blank. That is how you end up in a terrible situation, because you're trying to rush things because you just desperate. Take your time, man. Take your time. I've seen a lot of fellas end up in this situation out of desperation, man. Out of desperation. Oh, the real man, man, men need to do a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Men need to read more. Men need to meditate more. Men need to journal more. It's a lot that we need to. Men need to focus on our health more. Like, again, like, listen, our lifespan is like the lowest of the lowest. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that men need to do more of that we don't do. You know, so we definitely need to read more, man, because again, that's the foundation. You know, information. So we definitely need to get that knowledge up, man. We need to meditate more, start journaling, all these things. Like, we need self-help. Like, when we start self-care, like, for the most part, you see a lot of women practicing that. When we hear self-care, that's like women, associated with women. Like, but nah, brothers need to practice that more. We need to practice that. Self-care, man. Take some time off of social media. Take some time off from certain environments and crowds and things like that, man. We need to do more of that. Brothers are not practicing that enough. Brothers are not practicing these things enough, man. Like flat out, flat out. So it's a lot of things that we need to do more of, man. Just for real, man. Like brothers, we neglect a lot when it comes to the mental and the physical. We neglect a lot, and we need to just stop doing that, man. That's is very unhealthy. And again, it's a reason why our lifespan is the age that it is. Because for the most part, we neglecting to do things, man. We neglecting ourselves, man. We not implementing certain practices that we know will be helpful to us, man. So we got to stop neglecting ourselves mentally and physically, man, because we got to be around, man. We talk about these seeds needing their fathers, but like what are we striving to do to make sure we are around? It's more than just going out here working hard for the money, man. You got to make sure physically that you good too. You got to make sure mentally that you in the right space too. So we got to do things that cater to the physical, that cater to the mental as well. Putting in work, earning a certain income is cool and whatnot, but again, if your mental is out of whack and your physical is out of whack, then that really serves no purpose. Jasmine, peace, what's happening? JB, you say I feel like most of us use relationships just to pass time. Oh yeah, for sure. I've talked about that. I've talked about that. Chris, for sure. And even with that, when the way that you are is mistaken, it's like at the end of the day, anybody that's mistaken that, like, that's not the person for you. Those are not the people for you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, a righteous person, we not gonna mistake that for soft because we know what it is because we tapped in. So again, a person that's out of tune, and a person that's not living according to their true nature, they gonna try to take advantage of something like that. They gonna mistake. They gonna mistake that. Intelligent peace. What's happening? What you say? Can I do some content on money? Oh, for sure, man. Money. Hey, money is, like I said, money is simple, but for sure, for sure. Oh, Sharif, man, exactly. And I was talking about that with a client. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about that with a client in regards to just the mental and dementia, Alzheimer's, and how we neglect. And I talk about it all the time. How we neglect the brain being a muscle. It's like, man, you got to exercise that joint. One of the best ways to exercise it. Read, read, man, journal, all that, man. Challenge yourself mentally. Like, man, we gotta do that, man. We gotta do it. And we don't do it enough. Salacious, peace, what's happening? Nakuma, peace. What's the word? Mr. Keeley, you say we as black women also have to lift our black men up. 100%, and vice versa. Vice versa. And I'm gonna say the vice versa because I'm a man, so I like to speak in regards to men. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact we got to do a better job on the vice versa in regards to lifting our sisters up, because a lot of times, even when a brother speaks like that or speaks like how I'm speaking, a lot of brothers are getting their feelings when they hear something like that. And I feel like that's a problem. So if a brother gets on here and talk about uplifting black women, I'm gonna have a bunch of brothers not really listen to me after that. You know, not trying to gain an understanding of why I'm saying what I'm saying and what I mean by that. So I feel like we got a lot more work to do in that department ourselves as black men when it comes to uplifting these sisters, man. Again, our first duty is to self, right? Our first duty is to self. Your first duty is to yourself, right? As a black man, that's your first duty, to make sure you are right and exact. That's your first duty, is to self. You right and exact, then the family gonna be right and exact. But our first duty is to self. But that second duty, whether we want to admit it or not, is to that sister. Because again, if you want you a black family, how you gonna create this black family without this black woman? You know what I'm saying? So if you want that family, like, your second duty is to make sure these sisters is right and exact. So your first duty is to yourself, and your second duty is to the black woman. You know, again, in regards to uplifting them, encouraging them. And we know how sick and twisted the world is. I know y'all don't want to hear me say something like that. I know y'all. I know the state of brothers. So I know brothers don't want to hear this language. How do I know it? Because I'm a brother and I deal with brothers. I know a lot of brothers personally. I've had this conversation in the physical with brothers. Brothers don't be understanding what I'm talking about. That's our duty. That's our responsibility, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And again, it ain't really anything that's simple about that, because if we don't uplift our women, who will? And vice versa. If they don't work hard to uplift us, who will? And again, I'm talking about outside of ourselves. So once we put in the work to do what we need to do, now who else got our back? Who else got our back? Whether we like it or not, whether we want to admit it or not, it's gonna be a sister. It's gonna be a brother if you are a black woman. Whether we want to admit this or not, at the end of the day, we are all we got. So y'all might as well deal with this reality. We not talking about the select few that's gonna go date outside the race and feel like they done found love, cool. But for the most part, we gonna deal in proximity. For the most part, we are around each other all the time. Because again, most of these other ethnic groups, they don't allow us. They don't allow a large number of us around them. They will only allow a select few. So at the end of the day, we are all we got, whether we like that or not. Whether we like it or not, whether we admit it or not. If you again, if you are a black man and you have a daughter, you should definitely be rocking with what I'm saying. Most definitely. Because I swear to you, I'm telling you, you would want your black daughter, your young black daughter, to exist in a world in which I'm talking about, to where brothers out here are going out of their way to uplift her, encourage her, not treat her dirty, not touch her, not rape her, things like that. So the only way to reverse that type of mentality and that mindset is for us to do exactly what I'm saying. So again, if you got a black daughter, I'm telling you, you need to bear witness to what I'm saying. You need to bear witness to what I'm saying. Because again, we know how the world is going to treat that black woman. We just like we know how the world is going to treat that black man. And I done had conversations with you got to understand, I train a lot of women, so I done had conversations with a lot of single mothers, man, and we be talking about that. I'm like, man, listen, at the end of the day, because they start talking about how their young sons acting up and how they, you know what I'm saying, how it's probably because they lacking a father figure, things like that, and my first statement is, man, hey, dude gotta, dude gotta tighten up out here. He 12, 13. I said, man, the world ain't gonna hold no punches on that young brother when he get older. So he gotta stop tripping, man. He gotta tighten up. Unfortunately, this is the world that we live in. Unfortunately, this is the world that we live in, man. So a lot of times we just like to focus on our side. Oh, the world treats the black man this way. The world don't like the black man. Listen, the world don't like the black woman either. The world doesn't really too much care for us collectively. You know what I'm saying? Collectively. So we gotta start understanding that, man. And that's why I've said, Big Black, peace. Appreciate that donation, that super sticker. And that's why I'm always talking about the desperation, which is what I'm speaking on. Eliminate that desperation, man, and deal with yourself. Deal with that knowledge of self that we talk about consistently, repeatedly. Deal with that knowledge of self, because again, when you solidifying and building that foundation, then when a sister comes into your life, now you have teaching tools. Now you able to teach her, you able to help her discover herself. That's how it's supposed to go. Unfortunately though, and I'm about to build on something too though. Unfortunately, it's a difference, and I was talking about this, man. I'll be having conversations with a lot of people. Unfortunately, it's a big difference between having information and implementing this information. Big difference. And JB, peace, appreciate that donation. Now, why do I bring this up? In regards to brothers focusing on themselves, having knowledge of self. You got two types of brothers out here, sisters. Two types of brothers. You have brothers that's going to get the information right, and they're going to stop there. And they just going to use this information as a pimping tool to get you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They not implementing any information. Any of the information that they have acquired. So they sounding good. And that's what they using to get you is game. Then when they get you, they mistreat you. You get the beating on you, all type of stuff. And you like, dang, man, he had all this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is he doing that? And then this is what happens. This will cause the woman who was mistreated by this brother with information to look at whatever group that brother came from the wrong way. For instance, let's say I'm a 5%er, right? And let's say a woman had a certain experience with a 5%, and you had a brother that I'm talking about. Yeah, he got the lessons, he got the information, but he's not implementing anything. He's not living it out. So therefore, he got a sister, introduced the sister to the culture, got the beating on the things like that. So now when she comes across a 5%er, she thinks we all like that. No, you have that everywhere you go. You have brothers that's gonna get this information and they're gonna stop there. They're using this information as game. The second type of brother you have is the brother that has the information and they are living according to this information. They putting it into motion, they implement it. And you are able to determine that by analyzing the ways and actions. It's not hard. If a brother is building with you on a certain type of lifestyle, it will be easy to determine if they living by this lifestyle or not. So those are the two brothers that you have to watch out for. The brother that has the information sounding good. And one thing about a brother like that, they're gonna talk a certain type of way. They're gonna be a slick talker. The brother that just has the information but don't never implement any of the information, he's a real slick talker. That's what you gotta watch out for that. They're gonna be real smooth in regards to how they talk. The brother that's focused on action, he may not be the best talker. He may be somebody like me. I'm gonna fumble over some words. I don't care because I'm focused on putting things into motion. I come across the information, I'm instantly striving to put it into motion. But the brother that's focused on information, he figuring out the best way to articulate it to you to where he can get you to do what it is that he want to do or that he wants you to do. So he dealing with deception. The brother that is focused on implementation, he's leading by example. So you gonna follow suit just off of what he's doing versus off what he's saying. So we gotta be mindful of that. So sisters, when you come across brothers, you gotta be mindful that you got the brother that got the information, but he's a slick talker with the information. Then you got the brother that's implementing the information. Of course, obviously, you want the brother that's implementing the information, that's leading more by example than just by speaking. King repeats, what's happening to you, my brother? Oscar, peace, what's happening? Mr. Keeler, there we go. You know what I'm saying? Peace to your son, you know. And again, the village that we talking about. But shout out to the son. JB, exactly. And I feel like, honestly, in the day and age that we living in, because you say too many young men have had bad role models, it's almost like vice versa too. Like we didn't all had some weird role models out here. Hey, Lil Boosie got a song, and this is why it's one of the reasons why like people have their opinions on Boosie. But man, one thing I can't fault Boosie gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Boosie gonna keep it real. Boosie is one of my favorite dudes on the planet because dude gonna keep it real. Plus, I'm connected down south like that to him anyway. But Boosie got a song called The Wrong Role Model. And in that song, he talks about him being the wrong role model. Basically, don't look up to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a good role model. And then he talks about how he was raised and who he looked up to and how they wasn't the best role model. You know? So again, everybody talk what they want to talk about Boosie, but then a song like that will go under the radar when he's telling you, hey, don't look up to me. I'm the wrong role model. I'm the wrong person to look up to. And these are the people that I looked up to, and this is why I am the way that I am. It's a Boosie song. He letting you know he the wrong role model. You know what I'm saying? He's letting you know that. And if you didn't dealt with the streets in any way, shape, or form, a lot of OGs will tell you that. A lot of OGs will be like, hey man, don't do what I'm out here doing. You don't want to live this life. You know, you don't want to live this life. They'll tell you, stay in school. Man, you know how many OGs that told, man, stay in school. You don't want to be living like me. You don't want to end up like me. That's what an honest OG is supposed to do. But what I've witnessed is the dudes or the men that could be good role models, they act bougie. And that's where the problem lies. A lot of the OGs will be honest with the young brothers and say, you don't want to end up like this. You don't want to do this. But they the only ones that care enough, not the only ones, but they are the ones for the most part that's going to speak to the young bull. The black man that made a name for himself act like he be too good to talk to these brothers. And that's what be happening. That's why a lot of these brothers end up gravitating toward the wrong role model, as Boosie would say. That's why that ends up happening. I done seen these people. I done tried to have conversations with them. a lot of these uppity black Negroes and told me I wouldn't amount to anything instead of helping me amount to something. So I done been that young black man that had been told, hey, you ain't gonna amount to anything by two black men when I was in high school. So I didn't live that life. So oh, you done made a name for yourself. You living, you clean cut, you got bald head, you shaved your head, and now you about to judge me. You about to tell me I ain't gonna amount to anything. So again, while JB, I agree we don't dudes have bad role models. It's the ones that could be decent role models. Their attitude towards young black men is horrible. Instead of trying to meet them where they at, they overly judgmental. You know what I'm saying? So the brothers out here that could be decent role models like need to do a better job of communicating to the young brothers instead of turning their nose up at them like, why is this dude trying to talk to me? These bourgeoisie, as Malcolm X talking about, E. Franklin Frazier, he got a book about it. They trying to be too accepted by these white folks. They feel like they are above, you know what I'm saying, that young black man. Oh, I got it from the mud, I got it from dirt, I did it on my own, which is a lie. I did it on my own, so why can't they? I'm not finna help them out. Man, I done had situations where I done graduated college, right? And I'm trying to chop it up. I'm graduating college, man. I'm trying to find a job. I done got the 2 degrees. I done did everything I'm supposed to do. And I done heard them tell you it ain't about what you know, it's about who you know. So man, I'm graduating college and I'm chopping it up and I'm knowing people. I'm knowing brothers. I'm like, hey, and I'm asking brothers, hey man, since you work at such and such, hey, let me know if they got any opportunities that's revolving around my degree field. What you think these uppity Negroes did? They didn't made it. You think they tried to help me out? No, sir. No, sir. So if I didn't know any better, I could have gravitated towards the street. But man, like them brothers at least was listening to me. And if I ask them to help me do something, they'll probably try to help me do it. But I go try to ask the people that I know that's connected in corporate America to look out for some opportunities for me, and they not letting me know anything. So that's why a lot of these young brothers be like, man, I ain't finna deal with this dude, man, because they be turning their noses up at him. Man, I done been a victim of that. You know, I'm trying to seek out the brother that did something for himself, and he don't even want to help me. So what you think I'm gonna do by default? I'm gonna either do this thing by myself and make a ton of mistakes, which is trash that I have to do that, or I'm gonna listen to the OG in the streets, and I'm gonna gravitate towards him, and he's gonna become a father figure to me. So I feel like that's messed up, you know. I feel like it's messed up. It's like the OGs, they already know what's up. They're like, man, you don't want to end up like me. They try to look out for you, but then when they see you keep coming back, they like, hey man, this little homie keep coming back, man. So I'm gonna have to look out for him. But they can't disconnect from the life that they living. So it's like now all of a sudden they gotta keep you around because they don't want to reject you. Hey, contrary to popular belief, a lot of these street brothers be having good hearts, man. They just lost, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, they just didn't have proper role models. They didn't have good guidance. But at the end of the day, the root of what they're trying to do is provide. Like that's the root of a lot of these street brothers. The root of what they're trying to do is provide for themselves and for the people around them. They just going about it in a messed up way, you know. But a lot of these dudes are good hearted, man. They gonna try to take care of the kids. They gonna try to take care of the fam. You know, they some good hearted dudes. You know, so again, Kingra for sure. Definitely let me know. Mr. Keeler, there we go. There we go. Hey, Chris, appreciate that donation. You said I work so hard, I forget to call folks for days. Hey, we already know how that go. Y'all know how my life gets down. You know, I even be getting sidetracked on here, man. I be having young brothers hit me up, but they understand. Again, like when communication is everything. Plus, when they see it, a lot of young brothers when they hit me up on here, man, and I don't get back to them expeditiously, as T.I. would say, like they understand. They see what I'm doing. Mean no harm. It's all communication. You know, when I do have some time, I'm gonna chop it up with him. I'm gonna try to give you some game, try to give you some advice. Because again, if a young brother reaches out to me and I neglect him, man, I might be setting them up for failure. You know, and that's part of my duty and my responsibility. Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? So if I got some information it's really my duty, especially in reference to my culture. That's literally what we have to do. That's part of the duty of a civilized person. We supposed to teach the uncivilized. So that's the culture that I come from. So if it's a brother that he's expressing interest in me and things that I have implemented to change my life, man, I gotta pay attention to that sign. You know what I'm saying? I gotta pay attention to that sign. If I neglect this brother, man, I'm probably setting him up for failure because I might be his last resort. If I neglect him, he probably about to go this route, the bad route. You know, so hey, as OGs, as big bros, whatever it is, as unks, whatever your title is, we gotta do better, man. And that's why I'm trying to give them the game with that, man. Hey, desperation. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be that guy. And I'm gonna tell you another prime example. Most people don't believe it based off of my looks, but like in high school, man, I wasn't out here sleeping with a gang of women. My body count, as people call it, was very low in high school. I never got caught up in, oh, I'm about to I'm gonna dog these women out. I'm gonna dog these women out. I'm gonna try to sleep with as many women as I can, and then I'm gonna be in a relationship here. I'm gonna be in a relationship there. I never got caught up in that lifestyle in high school. You know, I never got caught up in that. Never. And I feel like that's something that we got to continue to teach these young men. I was always something like I was caught up in my sports. I'm playing sports. I'm like, man, I need to be my best version of myself playing these sports. I don't have time to be trying to do all this with all these different women, man. I ain't got time for that. I could be out here doing that, but nah, that's gonna take away from me being able to focus on being in my best shape possible. You know what I mean? Trying to juggle all these different relationships. I'm like, man, if I get in one relationship, that's it. That's all I got time for. I don't have time to be. I don't have time to be juggling multiple women. I don't have time to be disrespecting my sisters like that. You know, and that's how I was always raised, man. That's how I was raised. That's how I was raised. I don't have time for that, man. I didn't have time for that then, and didn't have definitely don't have time for that now. But didn't have time for that then. That was a popular thing. Oh, you want to see how many numbers you can get, how many women you could sleep with. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the thing. How many girls you could sleep with. That was popular then. And again, I've always been somebody that would stand on my square, and stay true to myself. I wasn't on that like that, man. I wasn't on it. I was attracted to girls just like every other young boy my age, but it was just like something never set right with me trying to sleep with a gang of women, trying to juggle multiple women. Like it ain't never sit well with me to do that. And I'm cool with all the brothers that's doing it. And I'm like, man, it looks stressful for you to be doing that. I'm gonna be cool in my little relationship with one person. If this don't work out, I'm gonna move on to the next situation. But I'm not out here trying to juggle a bunch of and play with women's emotions like that, man. I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really like that. Mr. Keeler, appreciate you tapping in for sure. So again, I was always want to just kind of focus on myself and getting myself together, man. I was always on that type of vibe, man. That's how I was able to start, like that's why I was able to make certain changes at a young age. Like people always ask, like, man, I'm 19 and I'm 20. You know what I'm saying? Transitioning to a vegan lifestyle, read more. Like I'm doing all of this at a very young age, and people was looking like dudes would look at me that was older than me, like, man, I wish I would have been on that type of stuff when I was your age. It was a reason why I was able to make these type of transitions and shifts at the age I did because I'm focusing on myself. I'm focused on myself, man. I'm not really, I'm not focused on all this nonsense that's out here, man. And y'all already know my relationship with people, so that made it a little bit easier for me too. That made it a little bit easier for me too. I ain't like for real. Like I don't care to communicate with people. I don't care to be fooling with a lot of people. So that made it easier for me too to embrace that type of lifestyle. Cause y'all already know how I feel, man. I ain't trying to be, what I'm saying, talking on the phone like that. I ain't trying to be talking to people like that. So I don't have time to be dealing with multiple at the same time. I ain't got time for that. So at the end of the day, I'm focusing on myself. And I've been doing that since high school. You know what I'm saying? Like just focusing on myself, having to discover things about myself so that again, when the right situation presents itself as it did, now I got a foundation. Now I got a foundation. So it's like, oh, she gonna come into my life now. I got a foundation. I got a whole culture. I got a whole set of principles. I got a whole way of life that I'm bringing to the table. This is the way I eat. I read. This is the type of information that I like to consume. I work out. Like I got a whole, you know what I'm saying? I got a whole set of principles. I got a whole way of life that I'm bringing to the table. All because I'm taking the time out to just discover who I am. Big bully, yeah, for sure. Now that applies to some youngsters, but I would say a lot of them do listen. It's just where the disconnect is. We gotta speak their language, you know. And I agree with you. I stayed amongst OGs. Like I always was around the older crowd. For when I'm the youngest child, so by default, I got an older brother, older sister. So a lot of people be like, "You have an old soul." It's because I was always around older people. You know what I'm saying? I was always around an older crowd. But even when I was always around the older crowd, one thing that was always consistent is older folks always feel like the younger folks don't listen. And where the disconnect is, it's a lot of times the older generation is always trying to just force things down the throats of the young folks instead of just listening to them. So I feel like the key is to listen to the young folk instead of just trying to throw some doctrine at them, you know, and give them direct, like we got to listen first. And a lot of times we just come with the order, like you need to do this, you need to stop doing that, you need, nah, listen to them first. Listen to them. And a lot of times that's where a disconnect comes into play. Because that's how I felt as a young boy. I felt like mothers wasn't listening to me. I felt like the older folks wasn't listening to me. And I know a lot of other people that felt that way when they was younger. They feel like ain't nobody listening to them. And a lot of times that's the truth. So when we say the youngsters don't listen, how many older folks listening to the youth? Like I'm talking about genuinely listening to their problems instead of just judging them. A lot of times the older generation, we just judging the younger generation. Oh, they don't understand the music they listen to. Y'all music, y'all listen to trash. The way y'all dress trash. When we do back in my day, this is how we did this, that, and the third. That's typically how the conversation tends to go. So we both of us we have to do a better job. The younger generation got to do a better job of listening. Older generation got to do a better job of listening, and that's how you have a dialogue. Because we got to understand, if I'm 32, the way that the 20-year-old different era. It's almost like when you're trying to compare like sports and athletes, different era. When Michael Jordan played, the game was different from when LeBron played. You know what I'm saying? Different game. So it's the same way when you talking to the youth, the game is different. You know what I'm saying? The rules didn't change. But a lot of times that's not what people like. We don't bear witness to that reality. A lot of times that's where my clashing, and I would literally point that out when an older dude would try to give me some. I'm like, yo, I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but that was like 20, 30 years ago. I say, man, things different now. So the advice you giving me now, like, is not it's not really feasible right now because the world is different. And this is the way the world is. So when I would try to tell the OG, a lot of the OGs then how the world is and where the world is headed, based on the younger perspective, they would be like, nah, this is what you need to do. Because this is what we did back in the day. I'm like, dude, I hear you. But the game has changed. Like they'd be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Go to college, get you a degree, work on the job for 40 years, then retire. I'm like, dude, that sounds cool. If I could do that, now I might would do that. But that's not the way the world is unfolded. They ain't trying to hear it though. All these young folks don't want to work. These young folks don't listen. No, I'm trying to tell you, the way the world is set up, it is almost going to be impossible for somebody to work on a job for 40 years, 30 years, and then retire and be set in life. That's not realistic. It was realistic back when my pops was coming into, you know what I'm saying? It was realistic for his generation, his era, not mine. But they'll try to give you that same type of advice. Like, nah, it's different. Like entrepreneurship is embraced a lot more, and it's going to have to be because these jobs disrespectful. We're not going to work on one job for 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh, retire, and then the pension taken care of. It's like this stuff is an afterthought now. Kevin, you say, what if you just trying to have fun? I hear that, but in regards to dealing with multiple women at the same time and playing with their emotions, I feel like that's disrespectful to women. So we trying to have fun at the expense of the feelings of a woman. I feel like that's wrong. So if you know you don't have good intentions with these women, please don't play with their emotions and try to disguise it and mask it as you having fun. I feel like that's messed up because we wouldn't like women doing that to us. Like if you was a dude and you was a desperate guy and the women just preyed on your emotions, we'll feel some type of way and we'll call it out. So don't do the same thing. Now it's a difference if you just out here, you don't have any type of intentions as far as dating these women and you letting it be known and they still going for it. That's different. But if you selling them lies all while you know you don't have the right type of intentions, that's messed up. And I knew a lot of partners that I had back in the day. That's what they would do. They knew, you know what I'm saying? They knew they didn't have no intentions of actually being committed to this one woman, but they gonna sell them this lie. You know what I'm saying? They sold all the women, all them young girls at the time, the same lie. That's messed up. Now again, if you upfront and honest with the women and they still rocking with you, then that's cool. But man, don't sell them a lie. Like, don't do that, man. Don't make it seem like you have. Don't lead them on, as it's called. Don't do that, man. If you don't have any intentions to do right by that young lady, man, don't. And a lot of times, man, that's why some of these women, that's why they end up corrupted mentally, because we doing it. We preying on their emo. We misleading them. Like, don't do that. don't create that monster, man. Don't do that. Be honest with them, man. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm 16, 17. I ain't really trying to be locked down like that. But if you still going for it, then we could do X, Y, and Z. And if they accept it, cool. If they don't accept it, then move on, man. Find somebody that suits you or fits your lifestyle. Don't try to force somebody to fit the lifestyle and manipulate them in the process, man. That's messed up. That's messed up to do that, in my humble opinion. Now again, somebody could feel some type of, like, feel another way, but I feel like that's messed. I feel like that's messed up to do it, and I witnessed plenty of brothers do it. You know what I'm saying? You in 5 different relationships. You know what I'm saying? And each young girl you talking to, you tell them the same things, and then get mad. And it was crazy. I seen brothers do that and get mad when a young girl a cheat. Whole while you talking to 4 different chicks, and then when one of them cheat, you mad. Like, dude, what? Makes no sense. But boom, crypto, peace, what's happening? Shantae, for real, seriously, retire? Like, nah, like, definitely. And shout out to them, but we in a whole different generation. Sharif, and exactly. And that's what I was, man, when it come out, like, my people old school to the core, so they ain't understanding it. So man, I was like, man, trying to get that through to them, like, they don't get it. They understand going to work for X amount of years and then retiring. That's what they understand. They don't understand, like, I'm about to do my own thing. Like, they don't understand that. And again, it ain't no knock on them, but that's just not the era that they grew up in. Or it's the era that they grew up in, I should say. So it'd be hard having conversations with people that just don't understand how you're moving. You know what I'm saying? And they judging you according to that. A lot of times I be having to do that for myself. Like when I'm talking to some young bulls, and I'm like, one area where I tend to be overly critical is like music. So I be having to snap out of that when I'm talking to the young boys. Like, man, I feel like what y'all listening to is trash, but then I try to be open, so I try to listen to these. I try to listen to what they own. I try to listen to it. Big Willie, for sure. The people definitely change. Because as we say, nothing is new under the sun. But yeah, the people definitely change. Shantae, for sure. Yeah, that Kevin Gates situation. I don't even, I've tapped in, but not all the way. Like, I know the basics of what has happened, but I'm confused in regards to that particular situation. And the reason why I say I'm confused, and I was like, I maybe have missed something, but I'm confused in regards to the responses that I'm seeing in regards to this Kevin Gates Drika situation, because I've seen a lot of women like, oh, that's what he get. And I'm like, dad, when did? So I don't know if Kevin Gates cheated or not. Like, I don't know, because I ain't tap in it that deeply. So they like, yeah, this is what he get. Woo woo. And I'm like, dad, hold on. I'm like, the dude cheat? Like somebody let me know, like anybody that's tapped into that situation, because I didn't tap in enough to know, but I was seeing some weird responses. Like all the dudes is like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying? He out here venting his frustration, like she did do dirty, woo woo woo. And then the women like, yeah, that's what he get. Dudes can't handle what they dish out. And I'm like, well, dad. But I ain't no Kevin Gates fan, so I don't know much about what dude be on and what he has done. So somebody let me know about that situation, because I was seeing weird responses. I'm like, wait a minute, what? One side is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, dude was did wrong, woo woo. And then the other side, like, yeah, that's what he get. So I ain't that's weird. Oh, boom, crypto, man, a lot of scams for sure. Yeah, and I peeped that. I peeped that the markets are definitely down. I definitely peeped that. I've seen that. Oh, okay, y'all. I ain't see Kevin. I ain't see what he said. What's your thoughts on Forex and crypto? I keep seeing people promote them, but they seem like flukes and scams, especially the ones that randomly comment on video. Oh yeah, those are scams. And a lot of them Instagram and Facebook folk add you and they got Forex in the profile. That's all scam. But I deal with everything like this. If I'm not well versed in it, I'm not investing in it. Um, so I pretty much invest in what I know. So Forex and crypto, I haven't did the knowledge thoroughly to those particular investment forms yet. So I don't dabble with them, you know, simply because of a lack of information, a lack of time to really study and master them joints. I'm not going to invest in anything if I haven't studied it enough to feel comfortable investing in it. So my thing right now is like value investing and dividends. Like I have studied that. I feel comfortable with that. You know, so that's what I deal with right now. So again, it's like what you know. Now I'm not knocking those things. You know, I know people that's in the fields. I train people that's in these fields in regards to like crypto, things like that. So I train people that's in these fields. I know people that's in these fields. I just personally haven't had the time to sit down and master it and do the knowledge to it. So I'm not comfortable investing in it. So I'm not saying it's neither good or bad, but you got scammers everywhere. You got scammers in my field, personal training. Like you got scammers in the fitness industry. So you got scammers everywhere. You know, again, we live in a society of opportunities. So if people see that, oh, okay, Forex, crypto, everybody talking about that. Let me find a way to scam. Let me find a way to get money. If we see, oh, okay, everybody investing in, everybody taking their health and fitness serious. Let me find a way to scam people. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna have scammers in every industry, especially when it's trending. Yeah, Montel, man, I got a few books and I've tapped into a few things with that, but I never got into it though. Never got into it. Yeah, Big Black. Okay, all right. Now I do remember that. I do remember the Cuzzo thing. But like I said, I ain't never been no fan of Kevin Gates, so I didn't really take much of what he was doing seriously. But I did hear about that cousin thing, and I was like, man, this can't be, gotta be a joke. But then I thought about it. I was like, it might not be. Kingra, and for sure, I feel like, listen, in regards to men being monogamous or polygamous, whatever the case may be, I feel like it revolves around the individual, because I'm not no, like, I know my nature. I don't have time. I don't like, listen. I don't have time to deal with a lot of people. So being a monogamous is definitely in my nature. It's definitely in my nature to be with one person, one woman, because I like, man, bro, listen, my attention span back in high school, not attention span, but my patience back in high school, like I used to get tired of people quickly because I just don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just not a fan of people. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely in my nature to be dealing with one person because that's all I had a patience for. You know, so again, it's just listen, we are naturally whatever our nature is telling us to be and do. But you will only know that by being in tune with yourself. So like I'm in tune with myself, I know exactly what I'm designed to be. I know exactly what I'm designed to be, man. I don't have the patience. I can't. I'm not dealing with multiple people, man. That'll drive me crazy. Like seriously. Like that would drive me crazy. Like I couldn't even stomach that. Like I'd be so annoyed with life, like I can't take it. Just thinking about it is like no. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's me knowing me. Okay, Shante. Okay. All right, here we go. There we go. You know, some of this stuff I was seeing, but I'm just like, man, Kevin Gates always been like not weird, but like I just kind of like nah. So I ain't never was diving too deep, but I thought the situation was kind of interesting. I heard the song and all that, you know. So I was like, Dad, what's happening here? And y'all know I got connected to it because she cheated with the personal trainer, or so that's what they say. So of course I got lumped into stuff like that, like people making a joke and all that type of stuff. So I'm like, oh snap! I'm like, what's happening out here? So the male personal trainers took an L, I guess. Yeah, Kevin, you gotta watch out for that type of stuff, man. Honestly, you know what I'm saying. You gotta watch out for that for real. It's possible, but you gotta watch out for that when people start saying that, man. Because I done had people in regards to like Forex and stuff like that. I done had people tell me how much you can make, but they haven't even made $1 off of it. You know what I'm saying? So I done seen that with my own eyes. I done seen people tell me, man, you can in 4 years you could become a millionaire, in 2 years and they done been doing it for 4 years and they ain't even close to it. Ooh, D-Tron, what you say? Man, let me put that up on the screen. One question, King, I had this problem since I was young. Everything I try to get out of poverty never works out. Not only that, everything in life, I wonder why is that? Any advice? Mindset, D-Tron. Hey, you gotta undergo some serious reprogramming of the mind. First off, you gotta deprogram. Because I can already tell by the mind, like by the way you ask the question, that we gotta deprogram. So it's the mindset. It's the consistent practice of doing affirmations. And then outside of the affirmations, it's you again discovering who you are and then creating a purpose for yourself. You know, and once you have this purpose, now you able to structure out some affirmations that suit that purpose. And now all you got to do is practice these affirmations consistently and then again embrace the process. So whatever your purpose is, after you have discovered who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, all of that, after you didn't discover who you are, you have created this purpose for yourself. Now it's a formula. In order for you to fulfill this purpose, you have a formula. Everything has a formula. So now, boom, you do your affirmations morning, in the middle of the day, afternoon, night. And then in between all of these times where you're doing affirmations, you embracing the process, which is the formula. So what are the things that you need to do on a day-to-day basis that push you toward fulfilling that purpose or living out that purpose? But it starts with that mindset, man. It starts with the mindset. You can't have any ounce of doubt at all. Already saying I got this pride. Everything I try to get out of poverty never works. Stop trying and just do it and be it. So stop trying. Stop trying to get out of poverty and just get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just be the person that you need to be to elevate and transcend above and beyond that poverty. So don't even speak poverty into your life. Like eliminate that word from your vocab and only speak words of prosperity. positivity, empowerment. So don't even deal with the word, the concept of poverty. You don't even, that word is foreign to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to treat it. This word is foreign to me. I don't even know what that means because I'm living prosperous. I am prosperity. Things like that. I am wealth. That's how you got to speak to yourself. You can't be looking at your situation and say, oh, I'm in poverty. No, because it's a lot of richness. It's a lot of wealth around you. You just got to acknowledge it and embrace it. You know what I'm saying? So don't even speak that into your life. Don't even do that. Don't even focus on that. Don't even think about that word, that concept. And understand slow and steady wins the race. Because we don't understand. It's brothers that they didn't get to catch their big break until they hit 40. I still ain't caught my big break. I'm still pushing. I'm still grinding. You know what I'm saying? It's dudes that they didn't reach a state to where they was like fully comfortable financially until they was like 40. And that's almost the average out here for the brothers. When we get to about 40, that's when it's like, all right, boom, we kind of cool now. You know what I'm saying? And until that point, man, we in constant grind mode trying to figure things out. So, man, slow and steady gonna win that race for you, man. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. All DB for sure. Like, I still don't too much care for him. You know, it's crazy. You know, I train a lot of people. I guess, you know what I'm saying? I attract what I am. I train a lot of people that claim to be, you know what I'm saying, introverts and things like that. So it's like it'd be cool. But man, I ain't never been too fond of, you know what I'm saying, like people. The wife is in the building. Y'all say peace to the wife. D-Tron, what you say? I deal with a lot of depression and no motivation at all. Hey, D-Tron, I'm gonna stop right there. Motivation ain't even important. See, that's what I'm saying. I was talking about that. It's a difference between motivation and motivation ain't even important. We need the discipline. You know what I'm saying? You could be motivation is not permanent at all. Motivation don't even really last that long. You know how many people will see my workout videos or something and be motivated for like 20 seconds and then the motivation dies? Like, motivation is really overrated. What you really need is discipline. That's really what you need. Motivation is nothing. Motivation can last for like 30 seconds. Motivation can last for a minute. That's it. Plenty of people are motivated to go get in shape. But how many people are actually getting in shape? The people that have the discipline. Again, most of the time, like today, I worked out today. I was not necessarily motivated to work out, but it was discipline. It was discipline that pushed me through that workout. I ain't want to do it. I'm like, man, I don't feel like picking up this heavy weight. I don't feel like doing this workout that I got programmed for the day. Discipline. I had a workout already programmed for the day, so I had to do it. It's discipline. It wasn't no motivation. Motivation is like overrated, man. It can work. It can work up to a point after you have acquired that discipline. So then, when you feeling like I was today, then like that motivation can help you at that point. But man, if you don't have the discipline, man, that motivation really ain't gonna do much for you. So when it comes to the depression, it ain't even forget the motivation, discipline. So you need to start doing the thing, like speaking a life into yourself on a consistent basis. So you need to just structure some things out, like the self-care. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you journaling, make sure you're doing your affirmations, make sure you eating right, make sure you working out. Like you need to do discipline. Forget being motivated. Discipline. Discipline. Discipline is more important. Like, discipline is more important. Don't feel bad. And that's another thing. That's how depression be getting the best of us too. We start to feel bad when we not motivated. Man, I'm not. Hey, listen, I ain't never motivated. Man, I'll be getting up early. I'll be tired. Oh, man, I'll be sleep. So nah, motivation be lagging all the time. But it's cool though, because I know what I gotta do. I know what I have to do. So that's more important. I'm doing what I know I have to do. I'm doing what I know I have to do. I've structured it out for myself. I said, all right, I got to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't care how I'm feeling on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm working out. I'm working out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't care how I'm feeling on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm working out. I don't care if I'm motivated. I don't care if I'm depressed. I don't care how I'm feeling. it's getting done because I wrote it down. I gotta stick to the script. That's discipline. Discipline gonna get you way further than the motivation. 100% of the time. DB, exactly. That's exactly what I said. You know, change your mentality. Because again, the reason why I said don't set goals and change your mentality, a lot of people again misinterpreted that. When you set your mentality again, everything else is gonna happen naturally. So when I change my mentality, like my mentality is I have to work out. So when that's my mentality, guess what I'm gonna naturally do? I'm gonna naturally find the time to work out. So I'm a naturally program that. I'm a naturally say, all right, I gotta work out 4 days a week because I didn't change my mentality. You know what I'm saying? My mentality revolves around prioritizing my health. So me prioritizing my health is going to naturally lead to me programming workout, scheduling days for me to work out, setting some type of goal. But I changed my mentality first. Like that's how you do it. So you change that mentality and everything gonna unfold according to that mentality. Then you're gonna be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I prioritize my health. So these are the days that I have the time to work out. So I'm gonna work out this day, that day, this day, and I got about 45 minutes, so I'm gonna get it in. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some hit training. Woo woo. That's always gonna happen naturally at that point. See, we work backwards. You know what I'm saying? We don't change the mentality and then we start off trying to go too hard. Your mentality's still garbage, but you trying to work out now. Your mentality is the same. So it might last a week before you quit. Because you didn't change your mentality. You know, so at the end of the day, like that mentality is everything, man. And D-Tron owner, I don't know if you still on, but hey, this book right here, the Prosperity Bible. You know what I'm saying? You tapped in for a reason and you brought that up to my attention for a reason. So I gotta show you this book. You dealing with poverty, and here we go. We got something called the Prosperity Bible. Grab this book, read it. It's over 1,200 pages, but who cares? This might be the only book you need to read in your life. Read this joint and implement everything that's in here. So there you go. So we gonna give you the resources out here, man. We gonna do that. We gonna do that 100% of the time, man. We gonna supply you with the resources, man. We gonna do that. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, uh, Big Black, peace, appreciate that donation. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Great, drink your water. You know what I'm saying? Teas is cool, but make sure you getting that water in. If you don't like drinking the water like that, people don't understand. You ain't got to drink water to get the water. Eat your fruits. You know what I mean? So if you have a problem drinking water, which is weird, but just eat your fruit. You can get your water through the fruit. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? We gotta get that in. Gotta get that in. But man, I just served my time for the day, man. I just want to get on here and do a quick little joint, man. I got some books to tend to. Hey, here go. Y'all seen the book I posted? Meat causes cancer. You know what I'm saying? And more food for thought. Y'all ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? People gonna get in their feelings when they see me post something like this and read, not read, but give y'all the information that's in here. It's real in the field. But let me build 5 minutes real quick on this book because there's some interesting things that I discovered. Not in this book, but when I was trying to fact check some things in this book. It's interesting how they got the internet controlled. Because literally everything in this book that I was trying to look up and research, all I could find was the opposite. All I could find was the opposite. So that's crazy. Everything in this book that says meat causes cancer, when I tried to Google everything, literally, all I was coming across was articles saying how it ain't true. So I said, that's very interesting. So you mean to tell me I'm not gonna be able to find one article that's stating the claims in this book like these claims just came out of nowhere. You know, and he's citing sources, like he's citing people that made the claim based on the research, but I'm Googling it and I can't find it. All I'm finding is how this is false, how that is false. I say, oh, okay. Prime example, and y'all can look this up for yourselves. I'm gonna give y'all something to go look up. They talked about the microwave being created by Nazis. You know what I'm saying? being created by Nazis. Now it's gonna be a dude when y'all look up the origin of the microwave. It's gonna be some dude named Spencer, something like that. I forgot his actual name, but I think part of his name is Spencer. I don't know if that's first name, last name. U.S. guy. But in this book, they talk about a guy that was doing research at the time and that came to the conclusion that the microwave was created by Nazis. And when you look that up, you're not gonna find anything that's going to corroborate that claim. And I find that very interesting. All you're gonna come across is how that's not true. So I find that very interesting, man. They have got Google very regulated. Very regulated. But with that being said, man, I didn't serve time, man. I just wanted to build on that, Drew, because I found that to be interesting, man. It's hard to fact check a lot of things. It's hard to really research. So you just gotta tap into these books. You know, it's crazy. You can't get everything online, man, because they got online regulated. But man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate the donations, man. Appreciate like y'all add y'all input and insight, all that good stuff, man. It's always peace. It's always peace dealing with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna let y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday. It's hot on our end, but it's all good, man. It's all good. It's around that time. But y'all be easy, man. Enjoy the rest of this Monday. I'm out. Peace.